Hey there, welcome back to the Espresso Tier, Cindy Leader, Lattes and more. um, Today I wanted to talk about something that is not mentioned a lot. And when I do mention it, people are like, huh? Uh, I don't know what that is. And I've seen in the past when I'm in sessions where um, perhaps educators or people that are training you say, well, maybe that trade didn't work out, or you lost that trade because of the contract size. And they're like, huh? So I wanted to talk about contract sizes because it directly correlates with your lot size. So you want to understand it because at the end of the day, that's your money, right? And you want to understand what you're entering and when it's profitable to exit, and when it's profitable for you to, I got to get out and not lose any more money, which is the opposite of profitable. Sorry. But let's talk about contract sizes for a minute. Maybe a bunch of you haven't heard about contract sizes, and it's literally in the back of the back office of your MT4 on anything that you're trading. So as I get into this, I'm going to bring up my phone and I'm going to show you different contract sizes because they do vary with whatever you're trading. If you're trading metals or Forex or indices or crypto or futures, like the contract sizes are different. So how I correlate it, and there's so much to unpack here. And I am going to do some of it in my cappuccino tier for the newbies because it's important for newbies to at least get that lot size, that grasping of the lot size and how that correlates to the value that you're trading. So I'm going to put some of it there, but I'm going to put some of it here too. And how I'm going to break it down to you is, let's say this. If a friend said, hey, I'm going shopping, I need some flour. Can you help me carry a bag of flour? And you're like, yeah, no problem. Because, when we go to the local grocery store and you buy a bag of flour, it might be 2 pounds, usually 5 pounds, right? Which is still like, that size, that normal size, 5 pounds. But then you see you're pulling up to them, with them to Costco or what's the other one? BJ's or something. And now you're like, oh, wait a minute. Because you know what that means. You're not going to be carrying a 5-pound bag of flour for them. They're probably going to walk out and you're going to struggle to put in a cart a 20-pound or a 50-pound bag. So a bag of flour is not a bag of flour. Contract size matters. So let's get into it. So as stated, I am here on my phone. My face is here, but I'm here on my phone and I wanted to show you about contract size. And this is the place we would need to do it because this is where I'm taking my trades. This is where my MT4 is. So let's go do that. Let's, gosh, I forgot what I was doing. Okay. So here we are. Here's my, nope. Huh? I'm all over the place. Here's my MT4 on my phone. I'm going to go into that. And I've created a bunch of demos. Okay. I've created 2 identical demo accounts. And if you see, this is what this is my 3rd time doing this. So what contract size means, like the technical term, and then what it means in layman's terms is contract size refers to the deliverable quantity of the product or what you're buying or the pair. So the way that they do it is that Forex pairs, like I said, Forex pairs have a different contract size than indices, than metals or cryptos or futures. So how that works is that Forex pairs have a 1 to 100,000 ratio. So basically, when you're in a trade for one Forex pair, you're like, let's say EU, you're really purchasing 100,000 euros. Please keep in mind that this is a global market, and that sounds like a lot. I wouldn't walk into Bank of America planning a trip to Paris and say, I'd like to buy 100,000 euros. Like, they're not. They're gonna, I don't know, cart you away or something. Like, what are you doing over there, Sydney? That's a lot of French champagne. So we're trading in these numbers here, but we're not trading like that. This is just the numbers that they use. So one standard lot in Forex trading, in Forex pairs, is 100,000 contract size. And we can go into EU, for example. And those who, like, you're on the espresso tier, so you know something about something, you know about MT4. And so when you want to trade a pair, you would tap on that pair like I just did on my phone, and it brings up going into a new order. You can open it and analyze the charts. The one that no one ever goes into and knows about is symbol properties. And lo and behold, the fourth one down is the $100,000 figure. So Forex pairs are 1 to 100,000 for a standard lot size. This is how it correlates with lot sizes, which you also need to know something about, and I teach you on my platform. But here, I'm assuming you know a little bit about lot sizes. Standard is like the biggest. Standard is like the biggest you can get. I forget how high you can, how many standard lots you can place in one trade. I want to say it's like 500 or 50. It doesn't matter. That's a lot of money. I'm going to have to look that up. I meant to, and I forgot, but it doesn't matter here. So the other 3 levels are the standard being the biggest, for $100,000 value. Okay. Macro is the second one down, and that's for a $10,000 value. Micro, which is what I trade, is for $1,000 value. And mini, nano, is something I don't trade. I know people who make nano trades, and super small. It's 1 to $100 value. So I'm trading the micro. Most people I know trade micro. The only people I know who, well, some people are trading macro and standard, but not me. Not me. But it's okay. It's all good. So I hope that explains a little bit about the ratios and how they correlate with the contract size. And I'm going to go further into it, and I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. But if you go into something like US 30, we're going to hit symbol properties. Boom, you see that contract size is 100. So it carries more weight. It takes a bigger chunk, because if you think about it, if you think of a pie, right? If you think of a pie that's cut into 100,000 slices, and you're like, oh, I'm super hungry. Do you want just one? No, it's going to be this crumb that you probably can't even see. Okay. But if you're still pretty hungry and you go for that micro, that, well, no, I take that back. If you're in US 30 and the ratio is 1 to 100, you're like, oh, well, I'll take a slice, and you're going to get 100th of a slice. So it's bigger. You might not need a magnifying glass to see it. But that's kind of how it works. Okay. You're getting a bigger chunk, right? You're getting a bigger chunk with that 100 than you are with that 100,000, right? So the when you shift in lot sizes, you're either getting bigger. The bigger the lot size, the smaller the piece, which I guess makes it harder to conceptualize. The smaller the lot size, the bigger the piece. Okay, you're going to get. So this is mind blowing, because I had it written down. All the the Forex pairs are 100,000. Gold, all the indices are 100, 1 to 100. Gold, I'm assuming silver. I didn't look at it. Let's look at it, actually. Let's look at silver. So we're going to add silver in here. Metals, because I don't know. Gold is 100. So what is silver? Oh, that's weird. I didn't see that coming. 5,000. Interesting. So definitely between, yeah, definitely bigger than 1,000. That's interesting. I didn't see that coming, but look at this. This is the other thing that I discovered, and I think that I knew Bitcoin will typically take a big buy BTC. Let's go into that. Mind blowing. One. So I don't really know if that means it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Maybe because it's crypto. Crypto's different. Crypto's a different beast. Anyway, you have to be aware of these contract sizes. But I thought what I would do is go into these 2 demo accounts that I created, and we can take a look to see how that correlates with lot sizes. So this is where people would get into trouble because I'll show you. So let's go into the first one, 346 account. Let's go in, let's do that euro. Where's that euro USD? So for all intents and purposes, let's place an order at the smallest that we can do, which is a 0.01, which is a micro, which is what I trade. So since we're not analyzing or doing anything, and you know a little bit about trading here on this platform, I'm not going to enter a TP or a stop loss or anything. We're just going to enter that trade. And I'm entering it for a sell. Okay. So it took a really small broker gets his little cut first, right? But what you need to watch out for, and I talk about this all the time, you need to be very, very aware of this. Hey, now, of this margin, no, percentage level. Okay, there's 139,000 and change. Okay, so that tells you that took such a minute portion of your money, your balance here, that's 3,000. You never want that margin level to get close to 100. We're not close to 100. Okay, but now let's go and enter. So that was a $1 to $100,000 contract size. Let's enter that US 30. Same thing, same lot size. We don't care. We're going to sell it because I know it's dropping. Boom. Look at what it took. It took the other side of the decimal point. It took $3 right away. And now look at your margin percentage level. Oh, I don't have to touch it. She dropped, right? She definitely dropped from 139,000. Okay, so the more trades you take, the smaller that number is going to get, and you need to be careful. This is where you're getting into over leveraging. Okay, but you're still safe here because this is nowhere close to 100. But let's take these same pairs at a different lot size, at a macro, okay, at a macro lot size, and you're going to see the difference. And you're going to see how people, if you're not cognizant of the contract size as it relates to the lot size that you're entering, you're going to get in trouble. And I know some of you have done this. I've done it myself. I've done it with Ethereum, the cryptocurrency Ethereum. I've entered like a 0.05, and all of a sudden my margin percentage level is tanked the minute I put it. I'm like, it's just a 0.05. Like, what happened? The contract weight is so big. Actually, let's go. Getting all fired up now. Let's go look at Ethereum. I don't know what Ethereum is. Bitcoin was one, right? So where's my crypto? I just know, and I used to use the term to people, Ethereum carried more weight. Like it took a bigger chunk. So let's see, Ethereum. Okay. Simple properties. It's 10. It's actually smaller than Bitcoin. Interesting. I don't know. I always felt like it took a bigger chunk. But anyway, let's continue on. Let's go to this empty account that we haven't touched and enter those 2 trades at a macro lot size. And you'll see the difference. So the first one was what, what was left? 137,000, I think was when we first took that euro order trade. $139. I feel like it was around 139. Let's add in sugars. Let's add in that US 30 trade. May not let me enter this. Yeah, look what happened. Look at the big chunk. Look at the difference. US 30 carries a lot of weight. That's why. That's why that number, I feel, with just euro was similarly close because it's still a relatively small piece. But look what happened when we took that increased lot size of a macro on in this account. It went from 139,000 or 137,000 down to the margin level that I said you do not want to be at. You do not want to be here at all. We run a risk right now of losing this demo account if it gets any closer to 100. So people are like, I don't know, I entered the lot size I normally do. But if it's a different pair, if it's Forex versus indices versus metals versus crypto, it's not the same lot size. So you want to be cognizant of that. And if you're unsure, always go back and take a look at that contract size. Let's go into UJ and just see. The Forex pairs are 100,000. I'm curious, did we go into metals? We check metals here. Gold, I believe I said was 100. And if I'm going too fast through these screens, you're going to get to know these screens, and I go over them in the video, in my other videos anyway. So I hate that expression. I said all that to say all that. I hate it. So, but I said it anyway. It's important to understand. It's important to know this stuff. And it just gives you a leg up. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to cover here. There is not. Before I leave my meeting. Okay. So contract size is important to understand. I hope you see why now. It's going to take a bigger chunk, but I entered a 0.02 like I normally do. Bam, bam. Now you're in trouble because it took a bigger chunk. And you have to understand those contract sizes. And if you learn anything from me, I would have to say one of the important things is pick just a couple pairs and stick with it. Like, know exactly how they're going to move at any given point of the day. It's 4:30 Eastern Standard Time here. Anytime after 3:30 p.m., I know the indices are moving and shaking. And so I'm going to go watch my trades. And yeah, stick to a couple of pairs, and then you're going to be good. That's all I have to say. All right, see you on the next video.